Well, it's a pleasure to sit across from you, truly. I'm excited to nerd out with everybody about this movie, these movies, really, because they've been a part of our lives for so long. Probably longer for you than me, but describe what it's like as a performer to forget that this is the biggest box office franchise in movie history. I want to know what it's like to be a part of a project that's so groundbreaking like the Avatar films.
Well, that's very true. It is very exciting to be, to watch the technology essentially, catch up to Jim.
Right.
And his imagination and his vision of this world. So that is amazing. But the technology is very separate from what we do. And the joy of this for me, having come from the theater, is we come into the volume and Jim is right here. He's not in Video Village. And so we're all in these little black suits. It kind of feels like an early off-Broadway theater rehearsal.
Is that right?
And you're not there to come up with results. You're there to actually find out for the character what is going on, how to make sense of whatever she sees. And so it's a very, to me, it's the best job I've ever had, I think.
So then when you watch that performance on screen, I mean, I know as an audience member, knowing the context that this is motion capture, they're capturing the emotions in the moment when you guys are filming it, yet we're watching these blue people on screen and I'm so moved by it. I imagine it's the same experience for you even though you were in it.
Absolutely. When I see these scenes with Zoe and Sam, there is, what's great about Jim's work is he doesn't shy away from these themes that are so much with us,
Right.
How to process grief for a lost child. It's impossible. How to process rage at the sky people, for the loss of a son. There's so many things, and of course he wrote these so long ago.
Right.
But refugees, all these things are part of our world now, and that is our story.
So timely.
And I find them really nourishing. When I see the kids, it's so amazing to be one of the kids, and you realize that mom and dad aren't going to help you with this one. And so they have to kind of figure this out.
They have to figure it out.
Yeah, and to see them all come into their own, stand up for themselves is amazing.
And you figure it out together. I mean,
Yeah.
right? In fact, sharing your time with this younger cast who quite literally grew up making these Avatar films. Often we ask the screen legend like yourself, what advice you gave them. But I want to know what you learned from this young group of actors.
Oh, well, I learned never to give advice because they all have their own process.
Sure.
They're all naturals. And so what I appreciate was how generous they were to let me be part of their prep because they completely accepted me as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And yes, I just saw the movie too, so I'm still sort of processing it, but so proud of all of them.
Oh my! I mean, I imagine when you guys are all treading treacherous waters together, that bonds a cast, right?
Yes.
A group of performers. I just love it. Kiri is 14, and James Cameron joked, "That's how old you are anyway." So, what was it like to kind of channel this inner teenager?
Well, first of all, I think he's 14.
Right.
He
is.
Yeah,
he?
I think so. He gets such a kick out of all of this. It's he's a great inventor and scientist and all these other deep sea explorer, but he loves being with us in the volume and finding out, it's almost like he finds out what the scene is about again through us. And for me, I didn't want to play a 14-year-old. I had to dig deep and find my 14-year-old who was this tall when I was 11. So I was kind of like this,
Yeah.
And lots of ups and downs, and so I respected all of that. I feel, but honestly, I had the time to let it come back into me physically, and that was the greatest help, that I could actually trust that process, go into the volume, and just stand there, and she would reassemble, and my fellow cast members were so generous as well because they never questioned it.
Right. And we don't as an audience. It's all believable. You really do suspend your disbelief watching these films, and I think it's because of how grounded the performances are, truly.
Great
and I
to
want to
hear.
know, what's the stunt or scene that pushed you the most?
Gosh. Well, I think the underwater work. We studied, I think, for about 18 months with the man who teaches the Navy SEALs.
The way of water has no beginning and no end. The sea is around you and in you. The sea is your home before your birth and after your death.
I understand you, for the first time you held your breath, it was only 90 seconds, but you were expected to hold it 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I got to 6.5 minutes.
I know that's right, Sigourney. You should be proud. I know that's right.
We didn't realize we'd done something
Yeah.
like that, but we were ready to do it, I guess. That was, I think we all had different relationships with the water. No one was completely relaxed. We had to learn how to look and be relaxed underwater as the Navi are. And I always was sure to get there 20 minutes ahead of when we start, so I could get all the gear on and then just sort of do a long process where you have a snorkel and you put your face in the water, and it allows your land mammal side to segue into a kind of sea creature, and it's a real thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You did that.
Did it?
You did it.